This is the all-new DJI Mic 3, and today I'm going to answer all the questions that people haven't talked about, like timecode, the 4-channel to 8-channel receivers, all those things. We're testing it out. I have a whole bunch of gear right here. I've got the digital receivers. I've got 2 Sony cameras. I bought 2 actually, DJI Mic 3s, just so we could test all this out. I discovered some things. Some things are very hard to do. Some things are easier. Because I was curious, is this actually going to be useful in my workflow? So I'm going to show all those things that no one else has talked about in those videos. If you want to hear audio quality testing, we might do a little bit, but not a lot. But I'm going to compare the Mic 3 versus the Mic 2 versus the Mic Mini because we have it all. And I have all the other like DJI gear, like the Osmo 360. We've got the Action 5, and it tests and connects to all of them. So let's get into tests. Now, first, let's talk about size. So this is the DJI Mic 2 case, DJI Mic 3 case, DJI Mic Mini case. Obviously, the Mic 2 is the biggest. They have the biggest receivers as well, which does have a 3.5 millimeter input, which I'm really sad to see that the Mic 3 does not have. This just feels more like a Mic Mini 2 version, not a Mic 3. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. It's got a magnet on the back, record button, USB-C, lights on the sides, as well as these 4 pins on the bottom for charging. Inside the case, you can see they have a receiver with a lightning and a USB-C. This is a receiver with a screen with a dial that you can move, a cold shoe on the bottom here. They have an in and out port, and then it's just a touch screen with swiping on here, as well as a power button. And then this piece right here slides right off, and you have a 4-pin connector where you can actually put a Sony adapter hot shoe. And this is made from DJI. So if I go ahead and open this up, you see there's a 4-pin connector here. It slides right into place right there. And then now I can have this transmitted 24-bit audio directly to my Sony camera with no cables needed. I love this. This was one of the main reasons that I got the DJI camera, because we didn't want cables. We don't have to worry about charging, things getting unplugged, and just having a higher level of audio with digital rather than analog through a cable. And that's when the DJI Mic Mini came in, smaller unit. And I was like, oh, these are really nice. Very small microphones, no lav mic, but it's really great for running. If you want to clip this to your hat, like it's really easy to do. One difference was the metal right here, that magnet, I guess, is super strong. And when I would put this on my chest, the magnet would attach to other metal things and the mic would fall off. So I already lost one of these magnets from the DJI Mic Mini, sadly. But an upgrade on the Mic Mini was that the wind muff would now fit inside of the case. So you could close the case, you could put the cable in there if you use the cable, and it had a smaller receiver. So this is what the receiver looks like. You have the dial here. You can easily change the gain from the receiver. You can connect 2 mics. You have your connection button. It's got a 4-pin here, USB-C, and then the option to insert a cold shoe on the bottom, and then the option to insert this USB-C port right here. And this, if you look carefully, is a 3-pin. If you didn't know, the Mic 2 is a 4-pin, the Mic Mini was a 3-pin. So you could not use the new digital adapter on the Mic Mini, which I was really disappointed about. They look similar, but they don't match. So I was sad. But that's when DJI released this DJI Mic Series camera adapter. So what's funky is you actually need the USB-C plugged in over here. And then this adapter just had a USB-C port on the top, which I tried with Rode mics, other mics. It doesn't work. It only works with DJI mics. And it's got a soft cushion right here. And then the bottom is the digital piece that goes into your camera. You'll take this, you plug it in upside down into the hot shoe adapter. So now you have the USB plug in there. You can also do a USB-C cable from here into that port. It would look weird, but possible. And now you have the digital adapter. You can take your Sony camera, which has the digital input right there. It works on most Sony cameras. So this is the ZV-E1, the FX3, FX30. I plug that in. And now, if we pull out the audio here, so now you can see you're getting audio channels from this Mic Mini into the ZV-E1 right over here. No cables, no hassle. It made it simple. I can adjust the gain super easily. It just felt weird that this was upside down when you're filming. But it did create a seamless integration with the Mic Mini into camera. So this is a very small vlogging setup, ZV-E1, 16 millimeter, 1.8. This I really like. This is like a great travel setup. The only issue is this protrudes so much. One day, if we can get this built into the camera, that would be lovely. But this is probably the most minimal and easy to use professional-ish vlogging setup. And now that is where the DJI Mic 3 comes in. It's in this box. They now labeled it Mic 3 so you don't get them mixed up. Very similar casing. You've got the 4 lights on the front. You got the USB-C port on the pack, which now transports data because the new mics don't have plugs and they have internal recording. You can see the old Mic Mini has a 4-prong. The new Mic 3, it's thicker. It has a 6-prong, and this is able to transmit power and data. The Mic Mini did not have onboard recording. It does look approximately the same size, but it is thicker, right? It's a bit thicker, and it's slightly larger than the Mic Mini on the left here. They have somewhat similar wind muffs like mount on the top, and the microphones look somewhat similar. This has a power button, connection button on this side. This is a record button and connection button on this side. And then the piece with the Mic Mini was that the magnet comes off, the clips stay on. So that's good. Like, especially for running, if I clip this onto my hat, I know the clip won't fall off. One thing I'm worried about with the new Mic 3 is that the clip is magnetic. It comes off pretty easy. And if I clip this onto my hat and I'm running, I'm working out, and it's clipped on to my hat, like so, is there a chance that I lose the microphone itself? Because I've already lost magnets from the Mic Mini. Am I going to lose the entire microphone? Like it already fell off. So it's like, okay, it's nice that it's going to be rotatable. You can rotate it in any direction. But if like I hit something, boom, mic is gone and I lost my audio. So this is actually a bit dangerous. I don't like that. There has to be a way to hopefully lock this into place. I think if there's a way to make sure that this is like sturdy and locked in, because you don't want to lose the microphone. That's one big downside, losing the microphone and not having lav inputs. Our favorite setup right now is the COS11D lavalier, and then using this Sennheiser adapter with a locking mechanism to then be able to put this COS11D into the locking mechanism, because that is not supported on the DJI mics, into here. So this is our setup right here. Ideal? No. We are trying to upgrade, get some better equipment, but now we cannot use the COS11D with the DJI Mic 3. So it's like, what's happening? But anyways, if you're using lav mics, I guess you're just going to have to get a bigger system. I did love having a very small transmitter. It was just so nice to put this in my pocket and not have to worry about it while still getting good quality audio. Now let's forget about the other mics and let's discuss the 4 transmitter, 8 receiver, or whatever that is, like option where you can record 4 microphones on 4 different audio tracks on Sony cameras and computers, as well as having multiple receivers receive the same audio. So this is really cool, and I'm going to show you how it actually works. So we're going to take off the Mic Mini here. What's nice is the adapter works for the Mic Mini and the Mic 3, but not the Mic 2. We're going to grab our Mic 3 right here, plug it into that adapter upside down. Not ideal, but this is what it's going to look like. Now you can see 4-channel audio. I already went ahead and I connected. See, now I got to use the menus upside down. So you got to rotate the camera. It's just weird. It's just weird. Okay. So you go into receiver settings. You want to turn on quadraphonic on both receivers. So this is not the only receiver that I have with this audio. We also connected. Okay, we just learned that if you actually turn the camera on, it's going to flip the screen. So get ready. Watch. Boom. It's going to say camera inserted. A new feature that we actually now have is auto on off with camera. So if you turn the camera off using the hot shoe, I'll turn it off actually right here. It's going to turn the receiver off as well. Boom, off, DJI. And then if I turn it on, it's going to auto on off the receiver. That was not possible before. You had to use the 3.5 millimeter cable. So I'm excited that we have that. Also, when you turn it on, it sometimes will ask you indoors or outdoors. If you're doing outdoors, if you can see here, it's going to say, if indoors is selected, more wireless frequency bands are available. Make sure your country or region has access to frequency. So it's going to choose more frequency bands when you are indoors versus outdoors to minimize interference. So we're doing indoors. Hit next. We've got all 4 microphones right there. This is the host device, as you can see. And obviously we have all the microphones at the same spot. But if I tap this one, this is TX2. I need to find a way to label these now. Maybe the colored wind muffs. Now if we come to this one, I tap it, the screen gets bright. This is the secondary. It also has timecode going on. You have 32-bit float recording. Quadraphonic needs to be activated. It needs to be activated on both. So if it's not going to work properly. We have lossless audio turned on as well. So that way we're getting 24-bit. And in the Sony cameras, if you go to menu, audio recording, and then go to MI hot shoe settings, this is where you have to change it from 16-bit 2-channel. I prefer 24-bit 2-channel all the way to 24-bit 4-channel. And now with Sony cameras, with the hot shoe, with the DJI Mic 3, you'll get 4 channels of audio. And you can see that on the top left here. Did all the microphones just turn off? No, this guy turned off. So because this is secondary, because the master automatically turned off over here, it disconnected and now I'm getting no audio. So let's just make sure this camera's on. We don't have auto off. And now both cameras, blah, 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 blah. So because this is in mono mode, it's only showing the 2 channels right here. So we're going to tap mono. We're going to tap it again. It's going to show stereo, what it looks like. And now quadraphonic only supports computer and hot shoe. View the compatibility list. Now we have channel 1 and 2, channel 3 and 4. We swipe up, quadraphonic is activated. All 4 channels are there. And now on the ZVE1, you can see on the top left, I have all 4 channels. This is separate. Channel 2, channel 1, channel 4. You can even see the FX3 on the bottom left here too. Channel 3. Now in terms of the 32-bit recording, you do need to swipe down in the settings here. Receiver settings, we have quadraphonic, audio changing, lossless audio. This should be on. I'm not sure why it wasn't on. Auto on off with the camera, now supported by 3.5 millimeter and the hot shoe. Auto off. So you can actually have it turn off automatically when the camera after 15 minutes. This is where you choose indoor, outdoor, low cut filter off, gain, adaptive gain control. You can actually turn this on, and dynamic gain control can actually be super powerful. A lot of people have mentioned they really like that. 32-bit float recording, make sure that's turned on. So file options, you can record the original file plus the edited. So if you're using the noise suppression features, you can have both versions. Startup auto recording. I like to have this on, so that way when you pull the microphones out, it just starts recording. Yes, it can fill the space up fast, but there's a new feature called loop recording, which now if you turn that on, it'll delete the last clip. So as long as you're like, oh, I'm only recording for backup audio, but I don't want to deal with formatting it, like that one's huge, because now we can have loop recording, because I would never actually use the 32-bit audio in the microphone unless I need it. Something goes wrong. We've had those cases happen. And with the Mic Mini, actually, I didn't have backup audio. But now I can have loop recording, and I don't have to worry about the audio, like having to format these every once in a while. I know that the audio is going to be there from at least, the past couple shoots. Storage, you can see they're holding about 42 hours of space. We can format them. We have all 4 showing up on this receiver. Audio recording with the button, noise cancellation with the button, vibration, LED indicator. You can turn those off if you want to be more discreet. Transmitter, auto on and off. You can also change those as needed. Device linking. So this is where if I need to connect a transmitter, this is a transmitter, the microphone is a TX, aka transmitter. If I need to connect a receiver, another receiver would be like another Mic 3 right over here. And then group. So if I want to connect, for example, this is the master and this is the secondary, I actually have to go into this one and go to device linking. And if I want to connect this as the secondary, I have to go group for the second one, and then RX for the main one. That's a bit confusing. I don't know why they had that, but to connect this as the primary and this as the secondary, I selected group on secondary and RX on the primary. So I thought that was a bit confusing. Device management, I can go ahead and see all my devices in the battery and disconnect them as needed. Timecode, this one's really cool. So I can go ahead and turn on timecode right here. This can be the host. It's going to be master one. I can select the frame rate that I want. The FX3 over here is a 2997 drop frame. So I would select that one. And then I can reset the timecode, and you can choose if you want to output the timecode in different kinds of formats, L in, L out, and A out, which is audio out, if your camera does not support timecode. So what's nice is we're going to go in here. And if you want to update the timecode to the system settings, there is a way to do that. So I would actually have to pull this out. You pull up the DJI app, you go ahead and plug this in. It's going to turn on, it is the host, and go to settings. I'm going to pull up the settings on the DJI app right here. And now the timecode settings are all right in here. I can go ahead and say timecode frame rate. I can change all that. System time, I'll sync it. Right now it's at 1. So I'm going to tap sync. It's going to say system time synced. So now the timecode is 1340. And as you can see, it also updated on the secondary one as well. And now it is synced across all the devices. So we can even tap this. We want to reset the timecode. But now you have timecode. If you want to input timecode, you can do that too. You can output timecode with the L in, L out, and A out options too. We have all our microphones here, the audio channels. You can do quadraphonic. You can auto on off with the camera, transmitter, group record. I can tap this and all the microphones will start recording, and you'll see that pop up on this receiver as well. They're all now recording. I can tap stop recording and it will stop recording for all of them. I can control the transmitter for each microphone when it's plugged in via USB-C. So if you want to control things from an iPhone, you can easily do that here and then have it recording into the camera over here. So that's huge. You can have multiple things going on. You can have multiple cameras with the same receiver. So if I have 4 cameras, I can have all 4 cameras getting all 4 channels of audio. And then I can have 4 microphones recording at the same time on all separate channels. Or I can merge those all into one channel. So it makes it effortless to be able to record audio on multiple cameras with multiple microphones and have it all synced across everything. You have, some sort of time code. It's not as easy to use. I want to test it with like DD time code or technical time code. So let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe, turn notifications, follow me at Sherwin Shares. These are the new DJI Mic 3. If you want to see testing other things, let me know in the comments below and I can make a future video. Peace.